Hangman Adam Page going up against Max Caster, the Acclaimed, which, from day one, I was never a huge Acclaimed fan, but very, very, very rapidly have I turned the page thanks to you. It was great. We had the number 1 contender, Hangman Adam Page, against the number 3 contender of Caster in this.
Yeah.
And you could really, I do love the Acclaimed. I'm not going to say Mark. I'm going to say I'm an acclaimed Max.
You're an acclaimed Max now.
You're an acclaimed Max too, with that Max MJF shirt, bro.
You know it,
Jeez,
bud.
You're a total Mark. But also I really think you can tell that Caster and Bowens are getting more and more comfortable on TV. Like they're just, obviously they're smoother on the mic, and just their body language just seems like they're home. Very, very smooth. Both everything out there. I love the battle outside the ring. I loved how Caster was getting involved. Bowens was getting involved. It was a good battle of young stars back and forth. And I honestly, the result, I would have been fine with Caster stealing that win. Like, even though Hangman is on such a huge push, undefeated in 2021, huge pay-per-view win against Hardy, but to get a cheat to win, a dirty heel win out of Caster on this would have really been awesome for him. And it really wouldn't have hurt Hangman. And then you can kind of develop a little side feud of this going on. And I would have supported it for sure, but I enjoyed the match. And those two guys are talent to watch in AEW for sure.
Yeah, man. I love hearing you talk about the Acclaimed like this. As the tag team guy on this crew, I felt like I had to do my homework on them, right? I had to, because they burst onto the scene kind of out of nowhere. And you and I both were like, their first promo, they were like kind of corny, talking about the Young Bucks and their book cover, and their lines weren't hitting as hard. But ever since then, man, dude, like I become a big Max Caster and Anthony Bowens fan, man. I think that these guys got a lot of talent. I think that it was great to see Bowens out there getting physical a little bit. We know that he's been recovering from an injury, so he definitely made his impact on this match. There were multiple points in this one, whether it was, trying to get to use the boombox, grabbing onto Hangman's legs and holding on tight when he was going for the buckshot lariat. And throwing Hangman into the barricade. I mean, Bowens was all over this match. His fingerprints were all over this one. And as you said, it would have been a perfect opportunity to kind of allow Max to get that cheap win, knowing that there was a lot of outside noise and outside interference. You could have ran this one back. And honestly, I would have loved to see another diss track from Max going against Hangman. Max's promo work, dude, I'm telling you, he definitely at points in this match, there were a couple times in which he had a stumble when he went to do that kind of springboard move off the second rope, springboard suplex, basically.
Right.
He kind of stumbled a little bit. That's not, honestly, he recovered very quickly and made it smooth as typical with Caster. But man, dude, this dude's promo work is some of the best in all of wrestling right now. His lines, his raps coming to the ring this week were absolutely on point. He had a couple moments there where he had me going with the Biden line on the steps. And talking about and having to get cut off because of the blow me line. There was a lot of funny stuff. Caster's been great. And then his stuff that was on Dark, his segment against Hangman was absolutely awesome. So just another opportunity here where AEW has another, kind of untapped superstar on their hands. But what was interesting to me, there were two things that really jumped out in this one that I'm going to stick with. I felt like Max, since we're talking about Max, I thought Max wrestled this match very intelligently. He worked the arm throughout the match. He was working on that shoulder. And any Hangman fan knows that really it's a match could be going very poorly for Hangman, but all it takes is one split second for him to hit that buckshot lariat, and the match can be over. You could go lights out. So for Max to continue to work on that shoulder, work on that arm, it showed that he's quick, very intelligent wrestler. I thought that was very well played by Max throughout this match. It was kind of a bummer that Hangman didn't necessarily sell that, and it didn't really impact the finish much. But so that was one of the main things I took away, was I really felt like Max's psychology was really on point in this match. And then the other was that I was shocked, but JR talked about it. Max is 31 and Hangman's only 29 years old, bro. I mean, like, there's some like
Really?
yeah, dude, like AEW, we get caught up in it, and as fans of AEW, like, we see it. Like, there's a lot of stars on this roster. It's loaded, right? But when
Right.
you hear like JR talk about that, it kind of puts things in perspective, because we already kind of think like Hangman is an established star in AEW, right? Like,
Right.
we already know what he's capable of. But really, dude, he hasn't even hit 30. That
Yeah.
guy's potential, he's not even in his prime yet. So there's a lot to love about the future of AEW. Yes, the foundation and cornerstone of this company right now is very healthy with the John Moxleys and
For sure.
the Kenny Omegas of the world. But when you
Yep.
have a guy like Hangman, who already feels like a legitimate, true top level guy, and he is not even 30 years old yet, bro. I mean, it speaks volumes to the potential that these guys have, man. I think a lot of upside in AEW's roster moving forward, and this was a great showcase for it. You got to see two young guys who are really on the opposite sides of the spectrum. Max likes to talk a lot. Hangman likes to let his fist do the talk for him. SPD, this one's an elite out of me.
Lead out of me too.
I feel like it could have been a little better if I felt like the one thing about this was I struggled with it at the end with Hangman not selling all that work that Max did on the shoulder. But man, this was entertaining. It was funny. Bowen's getting involved throughout was on point. I thought it was a great way to start off Dynamite and a good showcase for the young talent that this company has to offer.